Welcome back to the channel. It's another week and we have another course for you guys. We're here in Jonesboro, Arkansas for the Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open presented by Prodigy here at the Disc side of heaven. Super fun open bomber track full of ticks and scary little bugs, so that's why we got the tick tuck ready. I feel like I'm like a 1963 baseball pitcher or something, but hopefully we can serve some fastballs up today and attack this beautiful open hilly track. Hole 1 is a very fun par 3 to throw. You got all the fans behind you in the grandstands. Elevated tee box here. You got the scoreboard showing the names of everyone on the card. There's super official vibes here, and it's a 470-foot straight, just big rip. I mean, you can go fairway driver if there's a tailwind like we have today. Right, there's really almost no wind, which is kind of rare for out here. Last year we saw like a 30-40 mile per hour gust of headwind during one of the rounds on this hole, and it made it like near impossible, but tons of fun to get you around. Going with the big rip here, I'm gonna go with my straightest drive. A little more chalk. Crunched on it. 2 off the top, cowboy start. Cowboy start, been a long drive. 2 off the top. Should be more stable. There we go. Now we're warm. First one was a warm-up shot, y'all. That one, pizzarked. Snorlax knows how to fly. Let's go. Always nice to be able to start this one off with a tap in. Especially when the headwind's ripping. Can be a tough hole to start on, but a lot of fun to throw. Hole 2 is a pretty sweet par 4. Looks like they really cleaned up this left side to try to entice players to take it. It was kind of there, but not really that playable in the past. But now I'm having a hard time. I just spent like 90 seconds trying to decide what I want to throw in this hole. Traditionally, you'll see players take this right side. A lot of leaves on the trees compared to years past, so this high gap is a little tighter than normal, and that's the aggressive kind of birdie gap on the right side. You can also play low if you're just looking to play for par for the most part, unless you want to throw like an incredible second shot. Left side straight shot is definitely there, but I don't know, I still am feeling drawn to this right side, so we're going to try the aggressive high shot and see where we can put it. I'm going to go back to Snorlax because ideally I put something on the straighter side, straight to overstable on some hyzer here, especially since I'm throwing those up. All right, that feels a little bit inside, but I didn't hear anything, so might be up there in a good spot. Let's check it out. All right, we've got 370 feet in, slightly uphill. I'm gonna take the honor out, rip it flat on the right side and have it fade late. 2 is definitely a good birdie to get, so if we can pick up 1 and 2 to start, we'll be feeling pretty good. Ooh, squeak through the branches, kind of take a little bit off of the shot, but I really hit the line well and should have at least a 45 footer. All right, C2 look here. I just clipped the right side of the gap here. Lost a little bit of speed, but I like my disc selection in line. Oh my God, this fly literally landed on my nose as I downstroked, and I thought about stopping, but I was like, no, I'm pretty focused. And yeah, the fly that broke the camel's back, really? It literally landed right here, and I was just like, okay, really? As I go down, I was like, I got the focus, I'm a champ. Almost. I'm glad you could hear it, so you don't think I'm just making an excuse. Gotta settle for par here, but honestly, hole 2 is a really good birdie, and I feel like I executed pretty well, so. All right, I'm here with my posse of flies that are really my new fan club, cooling me off with their little wings. On the third, it's a 435-foot par 3. Really just a big power shot, kind of a low canopy off the tee though, so you have to play something stable, and most of the time you'll see players go distance driver. Some players will go on those faster fairways here, but it's hard to go long on this one, so I think bumping up to distance driver is pretty good. We're gonna hit that Snorlax drive again. It's been working, might as well keep it going, right? Man, these flies are relentless right now. Gotta move swift out here in Jonesboro. Come on, give me the pop skip. Do it, one time. Not as close as I thought. I might have a chance to pop in for ace, but looks like another birdie op. Let's go. Oh. Let the right to left wind get me there. Ooh, tough pill to swallow there. Definitely threw a great drive. Still warming up the putter though. We'll get it there. Hole 4 is a par 4 at 660 feet. In the past, players could really bomb one out here to the right, choosing to play kind of a skinny flex, but as this tree has continued to grow in, this line is almost not really there anymore. There's definitely still gonna be a percentage of the field who's taking this high flex shot. But I think now, the way they've taken away this right side out of bounds, there's just 2 pockets of out of bounds near some trees. The lay down roller through the low ceiling gap here off the tee is gonna be a really good option. Just make sure to throw something understable enough to get right before that out of bounds line comes in on the backside there. I like it, it's gonna be a fun hole. I'm sure we'll still see players taking this low ceiling straight shot because you don't need too far past the gap to give yourself an option here, only being 660 feet. But I don't know, roller looks as good as ever. I think I love that one. Push out and then fall to your face around that stake. Yeah, that's the one we want. Any bit of strong crosswind might influence me to take just a straight shot here, but if the wind's calm like this, roller all day. We're gonna double check our new 250 to the pin marker. Pretty close, says 270 from here, so within 10 feet of accurate. I think that's good enough for me. This is something that I hope to see honestly be a requirement for Disc Golf Pro Tour courses. Really helps with pace of play, players not needing to use the rangefinder as much, and helps the players just play their best and get the most exciting product out to you fans. 270. The out of bounds continues there on the left pretty tight, so swing out kind of a baby hyzer to the right. I think at this range the glow harp is going to be a good option with its overstability. Just put it on some hyzer angle, kind of at this left side of this big tree, let it draw in. I like that release. Might even check into the thing. Nope. A little short, but that'll be there for a putt. A little redemption putt. Similar range to the last one, so we ain't missing this one though. Just outside the bullseye here on the 4th. Definitely one of the softest birdies, the softest birdie that we have on this opening stretch, I'd say. Yeah, definitely one I'm trying to pick up. Roller is going to be a good play, I think. If you play something understable enough and really test that left side, get it to fall late, should put you in a pretty good position. If there's a strong right to left wind, I could see that kind of affecting what I want to do there. But even then, that should make it just kind of blow out quickly, which will keep it from pushing towards those right side pockets of out of bounds. So I like roller, I think. It's the one. All right, here's the ever tantalizing hole 5 at 495 feet of gentle downslope with out of bounds coming in right in front of the basket, almost making it like a little island. This one really baits you to go for it. You'll see a lot of players play a safe hyzer to the right here and just try to take a 3 on this tough par 3. I think the only time you really need to get this one is if you just really enjoy playing aggressive shots, or if you are coming down the stretch final round and you're like well back and you think you just need to put down like an incredibly hot round. But I think I'm taking that safe hyzer. We might throw a little bonus shot for you guys and see if we can get one down there. Definitely have birdied it before, but I just don't think it's really worth it. If you look at the kind of numbers breakdown of the hole, it's one of those that just historically isn't worth going for. So Opto X Ballista Pro 2021 Team Series. Nice beefy boy. Just play it high, set that hyzer. Yeah, a little bit tight, but that disc is so overstable it isn't really able to get that far left, and gave myself a short putter approach. But bonus shot, we're going for it. We're gonna pull out this ThrowJoes Dyes Kevin Kiefer Rive. Give it a rip on up there. Gotta at least feel the shot once in case we need to make a play for it. Oh, a little bit of slip on the footwork there in that gravel. So I never got the flip. And there's the danger of that shot, probably in that out of bounds patch right in front of the basket. All right, it's a very common range right here, about 120 feet to the basket. Ideally, I like to be a little further right so I have the hyzer option a little more available, but play straight at it. You can kind of give it a little bit of a run. Oh, and Delaware Faith. Ooh, just a bit too touchy on that one, but that'll do for an easy par as planned here on the tough. And it's just like, it's like a big fish hook bait just waiting to get you. Ah, got you for the bogey, so got you, sucker. All right, tapping in for par. That's probably gonna be my plan for the most part here. Ooh, what's this? Someone's Latitude disc. Nice domey stiletto. No name, oh, dang it. Whoops, guess it's not mine. We're here on the 6th, one of the signatures of the Jonesboro Open, if not the signature hole, 315 feet across the water onto this postage stamp green, surrounded by the wooden planks and the ad wall. Miss the island, you go to a drop zone on this side of the water and have to pitch across. So definitely a ton of fun to throw, and one that feels easy, but you got to execute. I like the forehand. I'm gonna go Glow Pioneer here. Oh, look at that stick. The biggest stick ever. Raven's the true champion. Stick twice the size of her body. I feel like there's a lot of backhand shots on this course. You don't really have to throw one on the course until you get here to 6, so that can be that extra layer on this one, making it a little tougher, you know, across the water. Got to put that trust in the forehand that you maybe haven't thrown for an hour now since warm-ups. So Glow Pioneer, full trust, full send. Test that left side, have it fade in. Oh, that's a bit low, but I think I might have the juice to get there. Oh, that's gonna be close. There's an OB line off the water's edge there. I think I might be short of it. We'll throw one from the drop zone just in case, but ooh, my disc is dry, but just behind that out of bounds line it looks like, so I'm gonna chip across with the faith. Get in. Oh, almost. Here we are. Sadly, just kind of turfed it into the hill here and stayed on. So I think I had the right disc choice. I just got to hit it a little bit harder. Might try out the stiletto tomorrow, but you know, it's all right. I'm gonna take whoever's disc is in the basket and use it as my putter here. Disc Mania Mosquito disc. Probably Gavin or Colton or someone. All right, got to take the bogey here on the 6th. It's one of those kind of birdie bogey holes. Rarely will you see a 3 on this one, unless a player just doinks their putt. Oh, we'll leave that for whoever's that is. We got the trampoline tee pad here in hole 7. 645 feet, 75 feet, par 4. You really got to crush it up the hill a little bit here, so getting that nose up kind of kills your distance and makes it play a bit longer than it says. There's a big oak tree down there in the distance that you got to kind of decide, do I want to try to play to the left of or the right of? Most players try to get left of that, leaving themselves a wide open forehand or straight shot into the green. I think you can kind of bump down instability here, knowing that the nose is going to be up on the disc, trying to get it to stretch a little more. And because of that, I'm going Snorlax drive. Left side. Put it with a little bit of turn because there's not a ton of wind today. Oh yeah, good distance, and got the fade back left since there's no wind to fight it. Should be an open window from there. I'm liking that place. It's a good place. Got 315 into the green here. I'm gonna go stiletto because I don't want to come up short like I just did on the last hole off the tee with my Pioneer. I'm liking that if it can just get under the branches. Yeah, it looks like I scooted into circle one there. All right, I hugged it a little bit inside. That face wind kind of forced me right, you know, the way it likes to do. So, found myself at the base of this tree. I wonder if you get relief off of this fence or if you just play it as is. I'm just gonna play it as is because I'm already like a meter away. I'm gonna play my flip here because it ain't tournament time. Y'all saw that. That thing didn't move a millimeter. Oh my gosh, just too much hyzer. So close to putting on a pretty hot round right now. Just gotta dial some things in for par. At 324 feet, hole 8's a par 3 that really forces a left to right moving shot. There is kind of a high spiking hyzer if you have huge power as a right hand backhand player, but it makes the whole play so much further. And at that point, you might as well just throw some kind of turnover most likely. But I see a lot of players throw the forehand here. And the key is really just to get in front of this big tree on the right because the putting windows in it are pretty scarce. Turns out I hit the branch that's literally in the bullseye, so I guess I was right thinking that I had an ace chance. Yeah, like I said, push it to the front side of this tree because there are some scarce windows and they're even trying to close you in here from circle one bullseye. You gotta do a little tip check after you're in those type of situations because this place is the worst on tour for them. Hence why I have my socks like this. I wouldn't even really consider doing this any other place, but quick check, mandatory. Tick check. We're good. Hole 9's a 750-foot par 4 that, like all the other trees on the course, has really grown in. We're playing this tournament a little bit later in the year than we did last year, so seeing that much more growth in just a couple weeks of time. It was also a really wet winter, so really got to pipe one straight through this gap here, unless you're Eagle McMahon, who's kind of broken this hole in the past and played the big hyzer that most players don't even really think about because it just takes you so far away from the basket. You usually don't have the distance to get the hyzer in for the birdie play. But for most of us mere mortals, we're just taking it up the middle, trying to get somewhere out there, not fading too far left. All right, I'm going orbit drive. I'm gonna try to play to the base of that tree you can see out there in the distance. That's a really good spot to be. Yeah, it's gonna fade a little bit left of that, but I think I pushed it far enough and straight enough. Should be in a good open spot, have a hyzer into the pin. All right, I should have about 300 feet to the pin, judging by this distance marker up here. And a big oak tree guarding it on the right side, so you really gotta crash it through that. Gonna take my Pioneer out wide and high and hope to get the ground play, or the filtration, we'll say. I like that width. I think I kind of came in underneath the canopy and probably looking at circle's edge putt, 40 feet at worst, I'd say. Kind of in no man's land here. Should lay up, but let's try to give it a little cheeky bid. Now we gotta make a putt. That's what we like out here. There we go, squeaked it over the rim. Took a par. I think that finishes the front nine out at 2 2 down with a couple missed opportunities for birdie from circle 1, so I feel pretty good about that, honestly. Y'all know what it is. Back 9 snap time, presented by Double G Craft Jerky's Nate Sexton's Sweet and Spicy Beef Jerky. Shout out to G for hooking us up with this in the parking lot. Always a generous guy and one of my favorites to play with. Here we are on the 10th, 360-foot par 3. And if you got a mouthful of jerky, it helps you make better decisions because you're nourishing your brain. So shout out to Double G once again. Forehand plays, so does the backhand drag over shot. I think I'm gonna play the backhand into the hill and just utilize that counter skip. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go Opto X Explorer here. I feel like I could get a mid-range there with the amount of ceiling we have, but you really need the fast ground play here to hit the ground and use that left to right side slope to bounce you to the right a little bit. Bit wide, but watch the ground play. It should drag it just a little bit right. Yeah, not much. Kind of a deathy putt from over there, but not a bad miss right there. This oak back here on the green of 10 is one of my favorite trees on the tour with the gap going through it there. And this is probably the worst angle to put at this one, to be honest, but I'm looking for birdies here. Yeah, no commitment. Taking missing putts. Hole 11's a dog leg left par 4, 560 feet. It's not very long, but really you got to put it in a pretty pinpoint distance off the tee to give yourself a clean window into the green, because on the second shot you really have to stall it up to the left and let it fade right into the green. So I like fairway driver off the tee. Gonna play that same Explorer, because you can really push it too far with the distance driver and not give yourself a good window coming in. Yeah, I think I really like that one. I want to push straight and then kind of just fade for the last third of the flight. I guess if you do want to throw a backhand into the green, that would be the time you do want to kind of push the back wall of trees here, so you have more room to swing it out. But I want to go forehand into this green. And I'm going to take my justice to do so. Play it up flat with the nose up and let it fade at the end. Yeah, just outside the bullseye whisker there and curled up left. Should be a short birdie putt. Definitely a theme out here this year that a lot of these branches have really just been weighed down and grown out with the big leaves. Greens are playing tight. The backside of 11th is no different. Looks like Parker left his PA3. Trying to match with the baskets. That's cute. Can't confirm. We just saw Eagle playing hole 9. Asked him if he's going to play the right side hyzer. He said, of course, it makes the upshot so much easier. I told him he's the only human being in the world that does that, because no one else has that 550 high hyzer on lock like that. We're here on the 12th. Definitely one of the more memorable ones out here, as it takes a big shot to clear this out of bounds landing zone here in the middle. You got to beat this kind of barren tree there that has a few leaves still sticking on it and get somewhere on that hillside, giving yourself a bit of a rainbow approach into a green that has a huge downslope behind it. I really love the way they've cut up the long grass here this year. It helps you kind of understand the flow of the hole here, as that curve line there kind of leads you to the basket, and it just looks so much better. It makes the open property like this not get lost on you as much as it can when you have things like that to just beautify it. All right, I'm utilizing the upslope behind the tee for that extra run up speed. I might have to remember to put a little bit of turn out of the hand on this hole. Definitely a hole that, for me, that hyzer flip that I'm comfortable with just doesn't quite give me what I need to get across comfortably. So, gotta come out flat or a little bit of turn here. And apparently I am not able to do that So I threw it left. I made it across. I'm a bit further left than I'd like to be here, but kind of opens up my window. It's really hard having no visual on this one to judge it right. You like it, Levi? We'll see. 12 has a super steep downslope behind the basket, so makes that approach very particular, and the putting green can be a little sketchy. Ooh, put it out there with some trust. Told myself I'm not gonna miss this one, undercommitted at least. There we go. That's a good birdie. This one always feels good to pick up, as that approach is just, like I said, very particular and unique, and hard to use your depth perception because you can't see the basket unless you are like Anthony Barella and get yourself like halfway on the hill somehow. Hole 13 presents another blind shot, blocked by a hill, this time going well up at 353 feet. You will see some players take a forehand or a straight shot through this left side gap. It kind of shortens the distance of the hole a little bit, but it gets pretty tricky. I like the right side with the hyzer flip. This is a hole that I've thrown kind of overstable in the past, but I think this year I'm gonna try to go a little less stable, or at least on this shot right now, and really make sure I get that nose up and that wing turn. Trying to see if it can't lift and get up the hill a little further, because I typically end up circle's edge down to the right on the brush line. Kind of drops off behind the tee right here, and you really need good momentum on the run up, so. Gotta plan the steps out. Oh, I flipped it up and found that back wood line a little quicker than I would have liked. And you know what? I don't think that was the right disc selection. We're gonna go most stable rive, because I pretty quickly got to the back wall of trees there. And at this range, I don't need too much flip up. So practice round, rewind. That one didn't really have the height I wanted, so probably still down on the right side, but I think it might have got to circle one territory. All right, this first one got to a pretty good spot off that little branch hit. So still in circle two, but I think I am gonna take the more stable one for the tournament, because while I could utilize that hyzer flip like I was talking about to get left further, as hard as I want to throw this one, I'm gonna get to that back wall probably before I end up being able to utilize that kind of shot. So I'd rather go over stable. All right, there you got to see one of the dangers of running a slopey putt up the hill and missing short. Here we go. Strong comeback for par. That one felt good with the tree hanging over my back like that. Yeah, of course. 14's definitely another one of those memorable holes out here. 520-foot downhill crush. This one's a par 3 for MPO, par 4 for FPO, and basket's perched on that big down log. Really takes a very specific shot to give yourself any kind of circle one putt. Drift off left and early, and you're gonna have a very tricky, likely spike forehand or grenade shot into the green. And they extended the out of bounds patch that is in front of the basket here in this wetland up further, so you have to clear even more distance to play safe here. Really not sure what speed I want to throw. I feel like depending on the wind I could get there with a number of different discs, but I'm thinking either Rive or Honor, maybe Explore, probably Rive or Honor. Let's see. All right, after much calculating and decision making, I'm gonna go with the Rive. Just try to drag it over at the basket and make sure I get the turn on it. Oh my God, no turn. I'm just throwing flat to hyzer all day. That's a very safe shot and an easy way to take a par, but no chance at birdie from there unless you just get lucky. All right, very pinched off here to the left. Threw honor on a second shot and ended up being able to resist the fade a little bit better, but I also put a better angle on it. So I think I will end up honor. It's enough to clear here, and it'll really make me force that angle over on it. The rive will be a bit touchier. I'm gonna take forehand roller with the hatchet because I don't really want to test the over the top shot right now. Just fall on your face, buddy. All right, circle's edge. Not the best shot. Maybe I should have tried something else. No, poison ivy. All right, hard to tell whether I'm inside or outside the circle, but I'm just gonna pretend I'm inside. And this is a really bad place to be on the green. Not a lot available other than this Anheuser putt right here. Oh, so close to making it happen. Unfortunate bogey. Not a whole lot of distance or creativity needed here on 15. At 270 feet, it's tucked around the corner to the left. Pretty much only option is to play a right to left moving shot. I like going Pioneer, going fairway driver here. I think you can get a mid-range there, but with the bit of upslope, that kind of gradually plays into it. Seems like the right distance for me. Go Pioneer. There we go, right inside the bullseye. Hole 15 pretty much always, no, we'll say it, is always gonna play as the easiest hole in this course. I don't really care how you draw it up, what wind, what monsoon you can play this in. This has to be the easiest. Definitely a musket. I believe we're 4 down through 15, and we step up to our one and only par 5 on the course. Hole 16 is 855 feet. First shot, you just get as much distance as you want to try, whether you're trying to take an eagle or just go for a birdie here. Nothing simple though, you got to earn everything on that second shot or the third shot when you're going over the water. Plays over the same little pond that we play over on hole 6. Really fun hole, and one that's going to offer a ton of scoring variety. I'm going to go a little flippier right now. Try to really master this hyzer flip, get a lot of distance off the tee. I really like getting left, if you can, off the tee, because it kind of opens up that second shot. I'm feeling good about our eagle opportunities. Let's see what we got. I don't really feel like laying up right now. I've got about 420 feet to the basket, not too far, but a very particular angle. I got to put it up in the sky on some turn and play a big flex shot. But we're here to test the limits and practice. Let's go for that eagle. Big high flex, stalling out through the tree branches. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm like, let's go. Pretty sure I have like a 20-footer. I think Gannon's gonna be proud of me. A little string bean down there. Grows every day, so proud of him. So we didn't quite make it to the clear promised land. Got a tricky putt window here for the eagle. Wow. Still tap in birdie. Gotta be happy with that. If you clear the water on your second shot, you're gonna be pretty happy regardless what happens. Nothing long out of bounds wise, so really pushed that. I should have played a little more distance on my flex shot. Gave myself an open putt over here. Either way though, gave myself an opportunity Looking to score at least 1-3 on this hole over the weekend. Hole 17 is a 660-foot par 4. You gotta crest this gentle hill off the tee, push the disc to the right a little bit, but then have it fade. If you can push it about 450, you can give yourself a sight line to the basket, which makes this one significantly easier. Really the key is just to hit that skinny flex shot though. All right, gonna play Rive on a little bit of turn. I think that's okay. That's a little bit left. I don't know. That looks like it might be OB. Gannon says OB. Let's see. Ha, you were wrong, Gannon. This tree loves me and it saved me. So now I've got about 325 into the basket here. Got to get down on a knee, sling a forehand. A little bit wide. Gonna be some kind of obstructed putt from there. But after this drive, I'll be very happy with the par. To be honest with you guys, I thought it was gonna be a likely having to get up and down to save par, but now we get a long birdie look. Normally I'd love to do a layout onto the chest putt here, but we have so much poison ivy that I would gratefully regret it in a number of days. So I'm just gonna get to a knee and try a little nose up half throw thingy. Anytime you're calling something a thingy on the course, you're probably very confident in how it's going to turn out, right? I honestly tried to bid that for you guys. Almost regrettably so, but not today. I heard more chalk always makes you deliver on your putt, so had to try it out myself. We'll let you know when we get a bigger sample size. Woo, scared the camera lady. Our final hole here in Jonesboro at the disc side of heaven is 818 feet of pure terror. Left side's out of bounds the entire way with this fence that we have. And it is as tight as I've ever seen this center gap right here. So if you want to try to bite off as much distance as you can and get this birdie, you're probably gonna have to challenge throwing just a laser beam shot down the middle. If you can get down there to where the dirt is, then that's about the best you can possibly do. Rarely will you see a shot get there. A lot of times they'll be about 100, 150 feet short of that dirt patch. You also see massive hyzers sometimes, but that's a pretty wind dependent play. We're at 5 down currently, with a chance to get to 6 down if I can get a birdie here. So I'm gonna go distance driver just to try and work it as far as possible. Work over to the right just a little bit. Oh, so close. Okay, I heard a thud into a tree trunk and then another one on the ground. A moment or two later, I'm hoping I fell backwards into the fairway. But who knows, that was so close to good, I just needed to get it more down. It was kind of on a flat angle and eventually wanted to fade. This has to be one of the harder birdies to get on the tour. I'm gonna try Turnover Explorer down this right side, but it's a very low ceiling, so gonna have to be perfection to get a look for birdie. See if we can do it. All right, we should have about 240 in if this distance marker is correct. I'm gonna take Harp here, try to ring it up. Maybe that's the way I can birdie this. Long throw in. Little low, but probably slid up to the bullseye. Not a bad par to settle for here on the 18th at the Disc Side of Heaven. It's been a lot of fun having you guys here to show you our latest challenge on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. A couple little tweaks throughout the course, but for the most part playing about the same as it has in the past. It's looking great with the long grass, and some of those gaps have really seized up a bit, so it should be exciting to see how the players attack. Once again, I'll be in the booth for Ace Run Pro this weekend, calling the shots for FPO Chase Card, so don't forget to go check that out. And dropping this Thursday will be my Tour Series Orbit Rivers, so don't forget to grab those before they're gone. They're gonna go quick. It's gonna be a great fairway driver for everybody on the market, honestly. Whether you're a new player or an advanced player, you're gonna get some good distance off the river and really good versatility. You can play hyzers, you can play straight shots, turnovers, rollers. One of the most versatile discs in the Latitude lineup, and I'm super excited to have it as my Tour Series this year. And I'm super excited to have you guys here watching our YouTube channel and helping us build it from the ground up. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys later this week for a product review or something along those lines. We promise. Quick wardrobe change. After you play in thick country, you gotta check quick, and we just found freaking 6 of those little buggers had already bitten into me, and we've literally been here one day. Really scary, honestly, for me.
Almost 10 on Hutchie.
Knowing a lot of other players that have gotten Lyme disease and stuff, so cannot tell you guys enough. Check for ticks, check often. As soon as you get off the course, strip yourself. Even if you have to find like another friend, another guy to check you, like check your dang butt crack, check it all, because you don't want to mess with the ticks, right, Hutch? You don't want to mess with the tickies, Hutchie. You don't want to mess with them.